Hello my dear students, in this video we are going to continue with member functions. So member functions can be defined in two ways. The first one is member function inside a class definition, and one more is member function outside a class definition. So let us continue with the first one, that is member definitions can be written inside the class definitions. Now let us take an example to show that how exactly we can define member function inside of the class definition. For that, I'm going to take you to my laptop screen. Here you can see I've already written in a single line comment member function defined inside the class definition, and I've written the preprocessor directive #include iostream.h #include conio.h. Now we'll start typing the class rectangle curly open brace, and here we are going to define or declare two private data members, that is int length, then int breadth, and public member functions as void get data curly open brace. Here we are going to define it as cout, enter the length and breadth of the rectangle, then cin, we'll write length and then breadth. Next we'll write one more function definition, that is void put data, and then I'm going to display the same length and breadth in cout statement. So here length and breadth. So the main purpose of using this particular or writing this particular C++ program is to illustrate how exactly we can define the function inside the class definition. After this, we'll use curly closing brace semicolon that terminates the class definition. Once the class definition is over, we have to write void main to create object of this particular class. So here again I'll write the class name, because it is user defined data type rectangle. I'll take object as R, put semicolon. Next, with the help of this object, with the member access operator, that is dot, it is possible for us to access members of the class. So first of all, we are going to call get data, then we are going to call put data. So get data and put data are the user defined function names. It must follow all the rules for writing identifier name, and here I'm going to write get ch semicolon and curly closing brace. So after declaring object, you can use clr scr. Now we are going to compile by pressing alt F9. So success, there is no error. Next we'll go for control F9 to run the program. Here you can see enter the length and breadth of the rectangle. Now I'm going to enter, for example, 5 and then 10. So 5 is length and breadth is 10. Next it is going to show 5 and 10. It is not 510, it is 5 and 10. Now let us continue with how exactly we can define member function outside of the class definition. So before that, let us continue with the syntax. You can see here return type, then we are going to write class name and scope resolution operator. So that indicates we are going to define a function outside the class definition, then function name, and inside the round braces we are going to write argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, and so on up to n number of arguments. Then curly open brace, function body, curly closing brace. Now let us see an example how exactly we can define a member function outside the class definition. For that I am going to take you to my laptop screen. Here you can see I've already written a single line comment, that is member function outside the class definition, and I've written the preprocessor directives, that is header file hash include iostream.h and hash include conio.h. Now let us begin with the class definition. Here we'll write class, I'll write name of the class as operation and curly open brace, and here I'm going to declare two data members, that is int a and int b, and public access specifier, and here I'm going to write the function members, that is get data to receive the data from the user. So I'm going to declare these member function inside the class definition, and I'm going to define these member function outside the class definition using scope resolution operator. Next I'm going to write here int sum and one more member function as int product. Now curly closing brace and put semicolon, so that indicates termination of class definition. So here you can see get data, sum and product, all these three are the member function terminated by semicolon because they are called as declaration. Now we are going to define them outside the class definition using scope resolution operator. Let me start with the first one. First we'll write void as per the syntax that we have studied just now. Void is the data type, next class name is operation, then we are going to use scope resolution operator, then we are going to use the function name as get data, then curly open brace, and here we are going to write scene and cout statements. So here I'm going to use cascading of input output statements. I'll ask the user to enter the value of A and B. Next, using scene statement, I will input the value of A and B. Now curly closing brace indicates this is the end of get data function. Next we'll move on to the second one, that is int sum. So let us write here data type first, then operation, and then using scope resolution operator we are going to define them outside the class definition. So here integer type of data we are returning back to the calling function, hence we are going to write return, and inside the bracket we will write A plus B. Then again we are going to define the next one, that is int product. So here we will write operation and then scope resolution operator, and here we are going to write it as a product. Then define it as again return A into B. Then curly closing brace. So after defining all these member function outside the class definition, now we need to create the object of this particular class by writing main function. So here we are going to create the object of the class. So name of the class is operation, and here O is the object. With the help of object, by using member access operator dot, it is possible for us to access the members of the class. So first of all we are going to call get data. After calling this we want to call sum. So here I'll write cout, and in a double quotation mark I'll write sum equal to, here we are going to write O dot sum cout. Next I want to print the product of these two numbers, product equal to O dot product. Next we'll write get ch, then curly closing brace. Now let us compile by pressing Alt F9. Success, there is no error. Next we'll go for pressing Ctrl F9 to run the program. Here you can see enter the value of A and B. Now I'm going to enter the value of A, that is 1, and now I'm going to enter the value of B, that is 2. Now you can see the sum should be 3 and the product should be 2, and let us see by pressing enter. Here you can see sum is equal to 3 and product is equal to 2 is displayed. Now let us take one more example. So here we are going to define the member function inside as well as outside of the class definition. So for that, again I'm going to take you to my laptop screen. Here you can see I've written in a single line comment member function defined inside and outside the class definition, hash include iostream.h, hash include conio.h, and now I'm going to define a class here. So let us write class, the name of the class as item and curly open brace, and here I'm going to write int number semicolon, next float cost. So both of these two are private data members. In a public section I'm going to declare and define one member function here as get data. I'm going to declare with return type as void, and here in a argument list I'm going to take int a comma float b put semicolon. So this indicates it is a declaration of a function. Next I'm going to define the function inside the class definition, that is void put data curly open brace. Here I'll write cout number equal to, and here I'm going to display the value of number, and I'll use endl to bring the cursor down to the next line, cout. Then I'm going to write here cost equal to, and the value stored in the variable cost, put semicolon, then curly closing brace. This indicates that we have defined put data function inside the class definition. And here get data, you can see it is declared inside the class definition. Now we want to define this one outside the class definition. So first we are going to close the definition of class by putting semicolon. Next we are going to define get data outside the class definition. So here we are going to use first data type, then name of the class. Remember the syntax. So here name of the class is item and scope resolution operator. Then we are going to use the name of the function curly open brace, and here we are going to use arguments as int a and float b. Then we'll write number equal to a value is initialized to the private member number. Next the private member is cost is initialized with value b, curly closing brace, and now we are going to write void main function to create object of this class. So here we'll write first name of the class, then object I'll take as x. Any valid identifier name you can give to the object. Next we'll write x dot get data, and here I'm going to pass two arguments. As you can see, the first one is integer number, I'll enter as 25. Next comma, that is floating point number, I'll enter 2.5, put semicolon. Then again I'm going to call the next function, that is put data function, in order to display the result onto the console. So here I'll write x dot put data get ch curly closing brace. Now compile by pressing Alt F9. Success, there is no error. We'll go for next executing this program by pressing Ctrl F9. So here you can see number is equal to 25 and cost is equal to 2.5 is initialized. Now we'll continue with defining objects of a class. So here we are going to see the syntax first. We'll write class name, curly open brace, then we can write private members as well as the public members, curly closing brace, and put semicolon. So after that we are going to write the class name to define the objects. Then we are going to write object 1 comma object 2 and so on. Once the class is defined, we can create any number of object of that particular class type. Now let us take a small example of definition of a class and how to create object of that particular class. So here we can write class student curly open brace, then I'm going to write char name of the student, then I'll write int roll number, float height, put semicolon, curly closing brace and put semicolon. Then we are going to create object of this particular class called a student. I'll write student as data type because class is defined to create user defined data type. Here we'll write student, then I'm going to write student number 1 comma student number 2 comma student number 3 and so on. We can create n number of object of this particular type. Now we'll study arrays as members of the class. So till now we have seen the normal variables are members of the class. Now we are going to study how exactly we can use arrays as members of the class. For that, again we are going to go for the laptop screen. Here you can see I've written in a single line comment arrays as members of class. Hash include iostream.h and hash include conio.h. Now I'm going to write a class definition. So let me write this one as marks curly open brace, and here we'll declare one array. So that is m of 5 because I want to enter marks of 5 subjects. Next I'll take one more private data member as int I, which is used for iteration. Next I'll write public colon. Next I'm going to write void set value. Otherwise you can take get data. Any valid function name you can take. Here I'm going to declare this one and I'm going to define these two functions outside the class definition using scope resolution operator. And here I'm going to close the class definition by putting semicolon. Next I'm going to define both of these two member functions set val and display outside the class definition using scope resolution operator. So remember the syntax. First we are going to write the return type. Here it is void. Then we will write the name of the class, that is marks. Then we will write scope resolution operator. Then we are going to write set val, that is name of the function, curly open brace. So here we are going to write cout enter the marks. Then we will enter the marks. Before that we need to use the looping structure. I is equal to 0, I is less than 5 and I plus plus. And here we'll use cin to receive the values using array m of I. After receiving we need to display the same marks once again. So curly closing brace. Next we'll go for the second function, that is display. So here I'm going to define it as void, then name of the class is marks, use scope resolution operator, then write display, then curly open brace, and here I'm going to write cout entered marks are /n. Then I'm going to use again for loop to display all the marks entered by the user. So that is I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, then I plus plus. Now here I'm going to write cout statement to display the result. So let us write here it is as m of I, put semicolon and close the curly brace. So now we have completed the definition of both set value and display function. Now we need to create the object of the particular class. Here we need to write main function. So void main, and then we are going to write marks, that is name of the class. Then I'll write m as object, then put semicolon. With the help of this object we are going to access both set value and display value. So here we'll write m dot, that is member access operator. I'll call first set value. Then with the help of the same object, I'm going to call display get ch curly closing brace. Now compile by pressing Alt F9. Success, there is no error, and then press Ctrl F9. Now you can see it is asking you to enter the marks. Let us take out of 20. So I'm going to enter 19. Next I'm going to enter 12. I'm going to enter 16, 17, 19 again. You can see the entered marks are 19, 12, 16, 17, 19. Now we'll continue with array of objects. An array having the class type elements is known as array of objects. Let us take a small class definition to represent array of objects. Here I'm going to write class employee curly open brace. Next I'm going to write int emp id, then char name of the employee, and then I'm going to write float salary curly closing brace and put semicolon. Then we are going to create array of object of this particular class. So here I'm going to write employee because it is name of the class. Here I'm going to write employee, then I'm going to write supervisor, and inside the square bracket I'm going to write 3 and put semicolon. So this indicates that we are going to input the values of 3 supervisors. Let us take a programming example to show array of objects. For that, again I'm going to take you to my laptop screen. Here you can see I've written in a single line comment array of objects hash include iostream.h hash include conio.h. Now I'm going to define a class called data. Then I'm going to declare the private data members, that is int roll number, put comma, then I'll write maths. So here I'm going to enter the marks of maths subject, then science. Now I'm going to write public member access specifier. Here we are going to declare member function as int average, then void get data to receive the data from the user, then void put data to display the data back once again to the output. So next curly closing brace, put semicolon, and we are going to define all these 3 functions outside the class definition using scope resolution operator. So let us begin with the first one, so that is void, and then we are going to write the name of the class, that is data, then scope resolution operator, and here we are going to first take get data as the member function. Next curly open brace, here we are going to receive the values from the user through keyboard. Here we'll write enter first the roll number, then we'll go for scene, we'll write roll number. Next cout, enter maths marks. Next scene, here we'll enter maths cout. Next we'll receive the marks of science. Scene, and here we'll write science curly closing brace. Now we are going to call one more function, that is put function inside the get data. So put data, put semicolon, then we are going to define average. So int data scope resolution operator avg. Now we'll declare the local variable called int a, and here we'll assign the value to this a, that is a is equal to, we'll calculate the average of both of these 2 marks, that is maths and science marks. So maths plus science whole divided by 2, so that gives me average of these 2 marks, and it is initialized to the local variable a. Now we are going to return value back because the return type of this average function is integer. So that's the reason we have to return the value stored in A. Now put curly closing brace. Now we'll define the last function. So that is put data function. So here we'll write void data scope resolution operator. Then we'll write put data curly open brace. Here we are going to write cout, and in a double quotation mark we need to display the value of average. So here we will write avg round braces. So that is nothing but what? It is a function call. And you can just clearly see that first of all we are going to call get data. Once we call a get data, it is going to execute first enter the roll number. So whenever the user enters the roll number, it will ask the user to enter marks of mathematics subject. Then after that it is going to ask you to enter the marks of science. After that the next executable statement is put data. So automatically control transfers to put data, and cout average will be printed, and it has got the call to average function. Again control transfers back from avg, that is from put data to avg function. So next it is going to manipulate maths plus science divided by 2, and it returns value back to the calling function, that is put data. Now we are going to create object of this particular class by writing main function. Here we will create data, and here I'm going to write object. So till now we have studied creating only one object. Now we are creating array of objects. So in order to write array, we are going to use square bracket. So how many students marks we want to process, we can write inside this square bracket. So I want to process 3 students, 2 subjects marks. So here I'm going to enter 3 and put semicolon. Next I'm going to use looping structure in order to iterate through all the 3 information, that is roll number, maths marks and science marks of each student. So here I'll write int I is equal to 0 semicolon I is less than 3 and then I plus plus. Next we are going to call get data function by using the object stud. So here we will write stud, and inside the square bracket I'm going to write I, because it starts from 0 and ends at less than 3, that is 2, 0, 1, 2. So that it takes 3 students information. So next dot get data and round braces, then curly closing brace. Now we will go for compiling this program by pressing Alt F9. So there is an error. We'll write scene. Next control Alt F9. Success, there is no error. Next we'll go for executing this program by pressing Control F9. Now you can see it is asking enter the roll number. For example, I'll enter number 1. Next maths marks. So here I'm going to enter, for example, out of 100. So I'll enter 80. Next science marks, I'll enter here 60. Now you can see average is 70 and enter the roll number. Now it is asking the second student information. So roll number 2, then I'll enter the marks of maths. Here I'll enter as 50 and science marks as 60. Average is 55. Again it is asking enter the roll number. Now I'm going to enter roll number 3 and here I'll enter 75 and here 55. Next you can see average marks is equal to 65. Now it has taken total 3 students information. Now we'll continue with objects as function arguments. So we can pass objects as arguments to the functions. So let us see an example. For that again I'm going to take you to my laptop screen. Here you can see I've written in a single line comment passing objects as arguments hash include iostream.h hash include conio.h. Now we'll write class and name it as sum curly open brace, and here I'm going to declare two data members, that is int a comma b, and then I'm going to write public members. Here I'll write void get data to receive the data from the user curly open brace. Here I'll write cout, enter the values of a and b. Then we will use cin statement, stream extraction operator a, stream extraction operator b. Then we will use void put data. Now we want to display the data. Here we are going to take the arguments of sum type. So here I'm going to write sum. Sum is the name of the class, and here sum is acting as user defined data type. Here I'm going to declare a variable x which is of type sum, comma, again I will write the data type sum and one more variable called y. Now we are going to declare one local variable called int c is equal to, I'll write x dot a, because x is the object. With the help of object it is possible for us to access the members of the class with the dot operator, plus y dot b semicolon. Then we'll write cout, in double quotation mark I'll write sum is equal to, here we'll write the value is stored in C. Next we'll go for terminating the class definition. So now we will define the main function. Here we are going to create the object of this class sum. I'll name the object as s, put semicolon, then s dot, I will access first get data, then I will write s dot put data, and here we are going to pass two arguments, that is the first argument is s, the second argument is also s, and round brace curly closing brace. Here you can see we'll go for Control Alt F9 to check the syntax errors. There is no error at all, so here you can see. Next we'll go for Control F9 to run the program. Enter the values of a and b. Now I'm going to enter 2 and 3. You can see the sum of both of these two must give me 5. So sum is equal to 5. Now let us study differences between structure and class. So here in a structure we were defining only the data members, not the function members. But in the class we were defining both data members as well as function members. But in case of structures, here all the data members are public by default, but in a class all the members are private by default. Structure definition starts with the keyword struct, and the class definition start with the keyword class. That's all in this video. Thank you very much for watching this video. We will see you in the next video.